What's up, Starter Do Crew? It's yours truly, Snorted. Right now, but again to that Houston hidden crime empire, arson, drugs, and greed behind a turkey leg hut. Now, this is one of the places I wanted to try when I went to Houston. Never got a chance to, cause who about to stand in that line? Right, it was egregious. Never. But anyway, I saw on Instagram that these boys were selling bags of the turkey leg hut out the back door. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it, man. Like the video or whatever.
Nobody wins when the family feels, but my
that's the arson right there.
And cheese on top of a turkey leg. Like, I changed the game with this one.
I tell you, the turkey leg is so tender, it just, like I said, falling off the bone.
If you're in Houston, you have to come to the turkey leg hut. It is so worth the wait.
See, that make the food so trash. Look at all that. It do. My bad. But let me explain what I'm saying. It don't make it trash. I'd be less inclined to wait in that line, though.
Price, owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas.
Hi, I'm Londell Price, owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas.
You feel what I'm saying? It's the level of respect. And I don't get disrespect. I'm all right in the hood. You know, people respect me. So the thing that you came in my restaurant to fight, that was my first incident of a fight since our restaurant has ever been open.
Oh, wow. Yep. That's impressive.
Yeah.
With a black business. And we see 30-some thousand people a week.
How many people a week?
30-some thousand.
That's a lot.
Oh, so y'all niggas is killing it.
No, we ain't killing, we murdering it. Nigga, stop playing with me.
No.
30,000
No.
Hey, let me drink a little more so I can talk shit to you.
No. You don't need another shot.
Today, we call it shot o'clock.
No.
The once popular Turkey Leg Hut is officially closed. A judge converted the 3rd Ward establishment's Chapter 11 bankruptcy to Chapter 7.
It was in the 3rd Ward? No wonder I ain't go. I heard about 3rd Ward. I heard about the 3rd Ward. It's close to downtown, too.
Clearing the way for the restaurant's landowner to terminate the lease. This is new video from today showing the closed restaurant on Alameda. As you can see, all of the iconic signs are now gone. All assets are to be sold to repay creditors. This has been months in the making with a series of headlines from bankruptcy.
Fam, most of us familiar with this quote growing up. You don't truly understand or experience life until you face obstacles that test your character. Whether that means turning to a life of crime or stand on a straight and narrow path to achieve your goals. It seems like trusting the people you believe in can become a challenge, especially when success is long lasting. Yet, adversity strikes unexpectedly. Fam, you ever met a person who didn't know how to accept no in no way, shape, or form? And in return, they lost everything they worked so hard for, fighting for what they used to be. Today, we're going to discuss a story that amplifies this struggle. A story about a man who faced tremendous loss over the past few years. Bankruptcy, losing his wife, his restaurant, his family, and now even his freedom. And a recent indictment from the feds has shined light on his controversial actions. This man is accused of burning out his competition, literally, alleging stealing recipes, selling drugs when the business was slow, and even using a restaurant logo to put on these narcotics. Not to mention, he scammed a gospel singer and his wife who were invested in the business. In this video, we dive into
these niggas is shameless. They don't care about nothing.
the story, examine the details of his recent arrest, and explore the events that led to his current situation. But before we break this one down, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fam, meeting Nakia Holmes and her ex-husband, Lindell Lynn Price. Holmes and Price started the Turkey Leg Hut in 2015 in a parking lot across the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. 2 years later, they moved their bustling business to 4830 Amanda Street, where fans formed lines around the back waiting to get their hands on fall-off-the-bone turkey legs, covered in shrimp Alfredo, dirty rice, or other savory toppings like crawfish, macaroni, and cheese. What began with 30 legs a week on a smoky pit had ballooned to hundreds in a matter of days thanks to demand.
I always say the world is going to taste our food.
Man, how good was the food? Now, y'all gotta reopen just for me. At this point,
Kia and Lynn Price, founders of the Turkey Leg Hut restaurant.
I want some early access, like they George or something.
Restaurant in Houston, Texas.
You know, we came up with the concept. People encouraged us, and before we knew it, it took off. We probably do about 45,000 turkey legs in a week. Still to this day, I'm amazed to see that line wrapped around the building.
Poured up on 50 truck has played a major role. Pulling the barbecue pit.
We don't have to bring out a generator. To be able to plug up our food truck from our vehicle, I mean, it's genius. You're always on the go, so it's easy for me to be able to plug up what I need. It's made our life easier.
40 to 45,000 legs a week and y'all boys went bankrupt. That sounds like $1 million a week. Man, if they sell the turkey leg hut, not the turkey leg hut, the turkey legs for at least $30 a pop, $45,000, 45 turkey legs, 45, oh my God. If they sell the turkey legs for $30 and 45,000 of them a week, that's $1 million. Over $1 million. How the hell y'all go bankrupt making $1 million a week? That's crazy.
We've worked hard to get here. We just this small little restaurant. But as I always say, the proof is in the pudding.
Why work for someone else's dreams when you can do it for yourself?
Now, Turkey Leg Hunt has seen some highs and lows in its near decade of opening. The restaurant went viral when the owners instituted a dress code after complaints of women and men entering the business with little to no clothing.
The Third Ward's Turkey Leg Hut is getting national attention this weekend after implementing a controversial dress code. Fox 26's Chelsea Edwards tells us why the popular restaurant is now in the hot seat.
Turkey Leg Hut was trending nationwide on Twitter after posting these new dress code rules. Some say it alienates their customers. Others say it's about time. Turkey Leg Hut draws in
what they was showing up in
crowds from across the nation with its famously stuffed legs. That's what the restaurant says it wants to see less of in this dress code posted Friday that excludes bonnets and exposed.
No house attire, no wave caps, no do-rags, no bandanas, no shower shoes, no shower cap, no exposed undergarments. This sounds like pretty straightforward stuff.
Undergarments and states all body
parts must be covered. All cleavage. Breasts, thighs, and buttocks. All right. Now, she got big titties. Let them titties titty. You know what I mean? She got big. Just let them titties titty. And if they musty titties, then that's when y'all can kick her out. That's crazy. That was crazy. Anyway, but yeah, let them titties titty, man. Y'all trying to fuck up the Lord's work.
Parts must be completely covered.
It makes your meal much more pleasant. He had to change her clothes.
Critics cooked up social media jokes featuring black tie and Amish attire as the new requirement, but others accused the restaurant of kicking out the same fan base that made them popular, even calling the owners racist.
We're a restaurant and we're not a club, let alone a strip club.
The restaurant says it's...
but y'all treat it as a club, though. That's really all restaurants nowadays. They got the music going loud, boy, the drinks are flowing, boy, make you do feel like you in the club, and then buy a bottle, sparklers coming out. It's hard to not feel like you're not in the club, though. But if they a family business, I can see why they wouldn't want none of this stuff. You got the families thinking it's a family business, but you got the grown folks that want to come and get drunk thinking it's a adult business, a 21 and over type of business. I can see where they can have their little concerns with the dress code and stuff, though.
Family-friendly atmosphere has been taking a hit during the return to summer fun, with some customers complaining about what was hanging out at the table next to them.
As we see, people coming in with pants all the way below the bottom of their derriere. We see, women coming in with nothing but exposed butt and thigh.
They also say
she didn't say nothing about them titties.
The first post was a draft not meant to be published. It was replaced with this list that prohibits
no distress or revealing. Shorts must cover entire bottom.
Excessively revealing clothing.
It was not implemented to change our image. We still like to have a good time, but at the same time, it's an environment where there are children here, there are older people here.
Turkey Leg Hut says there are no other changes in the works, but guests who don't follow the guidelines may be turned away.
I would think it's appropriate for them to cover up. If you're coming here and you're coming here for business, you don't want to come here for that.
Leaving some diners to enjoy their turkey meat while seeing less.
Back on March 26, 2024, the Turkey Leg Hunt owner Nakia Holmes had filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, according to court record. But it was the information that was provided during that time that was alarming in the Southern District of Texas, stating that in the past few months of the time of her filing bankruptcy, her business was riddled with controversy. Via Instagram, she quoted, "The company has initiated a voluntary court-supervised process that will allow it the necessary flexibility to continue ongoing discussions with all financial stakeholders. In connection with the filing, the company has sought approval to continue its operations while meeting its obligations to all stakeholders, employees, suppliers, and vendors. According to court records, the owner had listed 19 creditors with the estimated liability of $1 million and $10 million. Two of the largest accounts including the amount of $1.9 million and a disputed amount of $932,000. But it's a guy named Rogers who's now the owner.
See, that's crazy, bro. You getting money, my nigga. You getting money. Why y'all doing people wrong? Why y'all even getting creditors? I mean, now that y'all selling this many turkeys and whatnot, why y'all getting this many creditors? I've been trying to pay them back instantly. I'm saying I'm at $1 million in a week. All right, you get 50, you get 20, you get. Boy, work my debts off. I guess I'm just straight and narrow, lame as hell. I don't care, bro. I do not care. But when people do right by you, you do right by them. No way around it. It's no way around it. Yeah.
Of Bar 5015 in the 3rd Ward. He filed a lawsuit against his colleagues who he used to work for in 2020. In his suit, he alleged the restaurant's majority owner, Nakia Holmes, formerly Price, was diverting funds, customers, and supplies to her other food trucks and catering businesses without compensating Rogers and other shareholders. But later that year, Roger Bar would be lit on fire June of 2020, and it would take to 2025 to know why. Apparently, of course, the lawsuit, but Roger also took the recipe, the supplier, from the turkey leg hunt and made it his for Bar 5150, and apparently that was the key ingredient to the turkey leg hunt.
They all masked up too.
According to the feds, Lynn Price, the former owner of the turkey leg hunt, allegedly paid a group of men $1,400 to set the bar on fire. But then more information was coming out. James Fortune, a Grammy-nominated gospel.
$1,400? That's it? It was 4 dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the math on that. $350 a piece, I swear to God. First of all, whoever restaurant it is made millions. Because he had insurance. He made some money. It was a genuine claim. Like, and then you niggas only did it for $350? Y'all got away with it for sure, but golly, you niggas is cheap. How much a body? Get $500. It's crazy. That's not even that's an ounce of weed, but like after you buy that ounce, you broke. You broke before you bought the ounce for real.
According to the feds, Lynn Price, the former owner of the turkey leg hunt, allegedly paid a group of men $1,400 to set the bar on fire. But then more information was coming out. James Fortune, a Grammy-nominated gospel singer, and his wife had filed a lawsuit against Nakia Price. After finding out that she had filed for bankruptcy, it seems they claimed they loaned her hundreds of thousands of dollars to help keep the restaurant afloat. The lawsuit also indicates the claim that Fortune and his wife invested nearly $400,000 in the restaurant, including $180,000 for a 15%.
Them boys got they cooked.
15% ownership stake. The couple was seeking to recover their investment and expenses.
But first tonight, more legal trouble for Houston's well-known turkey leg hut.
A Grammy-nominated gospel singer James Fortune and his wife are now suing the restaurant's owner over claims they put more than $300,000 into the restaurant and are now out of the money. Sherman Chow joins us live with the story you'll see only on KHU 11 News. Sherman, this is just the latest problem for this popular restaurant.
It is indeed, Mia. We are outside of Turkey Leg Hut, which remains closed because of 35 health department code violations. And now a new lawsuit has been filed, and we are...
So these niggas was scamming people, ripping people off, selling $45,000, selling 45,000 turkeys a week. And dirty, they just messed up a real dream.
We're learning exclusively...
They messed up a wet dream for real.
...that a nationally known gospel artist says he and his wife have been violated too. James Fortune, gospel singer, husband, and investor. In 2018, he and wife Raquel met Nakia and Lindell Price at the Price's popular 3rd Ward restaurant. Turkey Leg Hut seemed the epitome of success.
We go to their home. We spend time, our kids interacted with each other.
Then last December, as the Prices were in the throes of a contentious divorce, the Fortunes say they loaned Nakia, as the restaurant's owner, $100,000. 2 months later, Raquel says Nakia phoned.
She was hysterical because the comptrollers were physically there to seize assets. And so she needed financial assistance immediately.
The Fortunes then say they put in $180,000 for 15% ownership of the turkey leg hut. The next month, the Fortunes tell us Nakia couldn't pay bills.
So she asked if I would use.
She was the one that did all the stupid stuff, cause we ain't hearing nothing about Buddy. In 30 days, and this what you blowing through? She blowing through 50,000, 180,000, and about to call for some more money. After 2 calls, your third call shouldn't be a third call for real. I ain't gonna lie. You don't even get that third call because you didn't used up 2 that quick. You didn't took your third call already. You gotta give me some time. I ain't lying, man. Quit calling me for shit. Quit calling me for shit. For real. She was the main corporate.
Use my personal card to purchase food for the business.
The Fortunes say they spent thousands paying for food supplies and services. Then, on March 26th, Turkey Leg Hut filed for bankruptcy, declaring less than $50,000 in assets.
By then, we're, $300,000 in. Bankruptcy was filed a month after we had given that money. We come to find out that there's millions in debt now.
Over the past several weeks, I went to the Turkey Leg Hut, contacted employees, attorneys, and Nakia Holmes requesting an interview, which she declined. The Fortunes say in hopes of keeping the restaurant afloat, they even paid some employees when Turkey Leg Hut did not.
Did you take a business risk and it just didn't work, as opposed to something more nefarious?
I think I allowed.
Nefarious, and she got y'all. Y'all got it. Simple as that.
Out my friendship to blind me in a lot of areas. It's no words to describe the level of pain, hurt, and frustrations.
The Fortunes say they put in nearly $400,000 into the restaurant. Now they are suing and praying in hopes of getting their money back.
Now, we should note that some of the players in this ongoing Turkey Leg Hut drama do have criminal convictions, including James Fortune. Those are from several years past and are unrelated to Turkey Leg Hut and this lawsuit. I did contact Nakia Holmes yesterday again for comment. Her representative declined a response.
As you can see, fam, at this point he had a lot going on. But little did he know, less than a year from then, the feds will come knocking on his door. On the last week of April of 2025, Price was arrested and accused of orchestrating the 2020 burning of Bar 5015 and a bar just blocks away from Turkey Leg Hunt, which closed in 2024. The bar is owned by Steve Rogers, who was also co-owner of Turkey Leg Hunt, which we briefly talked about. 2 other men, John Lee Price and Amarni Williams, were also arrested as part of the same federal indictment. John Lee Price was arrested on federal drug charges in Mississippi in 2023. Federal prosecutors said while he was in custody, he was interviewed by the FBI, who had been investigating the fire since 2022. John Lee Price, who is not related to Lynn Price, admitted to his role in the fire and identified Lynn Price, his employer, as the person who orchestrated and organized the arson. John Lee Price also told the FBI agents that Lynn Price was using the Turkey Leg Hunt to store hundreds of pounds of Mary Jane. He told the feds that the marijuana would be sold at the restaurant and packaged and bearing the business name. During testimony that lasted more than an hour, investigators uncovered evidence.
Damn, my nigga snitched on them niggas. Damn! Look, I'm like, how did they get caught? Cause I ain't gonna lie, you selling pounds out the back door. The streets wasn't told on that. And there was probably some good turkey tracks.
Evidence that showed Lynn Price threatened Rogers after he bought the bar 5015 in 2019. Rogers told the FBI that he initially considered partner with Lynn and Nakia Holmes, Price's ex-wife and another Turkey Leg Hunt owner, in ownership of the bar, but decided against it. Rogers' decision upset Lynn Price. Rogers told the FBI that Lynn Price bought a box of cash to the bar to attempt to buy the business. The offer was rejected. Lynn Price later called and sent messages to Rogers complaining about the bar. In some of the messages, Lynn Price said he was upset about the bar selling crawfish and using the same supplier as the Turkey Leg Hunt. In others, he wrote that he was upset that the bartenders were gossiping about Price and Holmes. Rogers told the FBI that Lynn Price threatened to blow up the bar. In addition to John Lee Price's confession, Amarni Williams also cooperated with investigators. The FBI tracked John Lee Price's cell phone to an area of the bar 5015 on the morning of the fire and uncovered early morning phone calls between Lynn Price and John Lee Price before and after the fire was set. At least 2 other men are believed to have participated in setting the fire. Neither has been charged, according to court records. John Lee Price told the FBI he received 2 payments from Lynn Price after the fire. The first was for $1,000, which was distributed to the crew. The second was for $400. Lynn Price is also charged with orchestrating the theft and arson of a car, a 1975 Chevy Nova Blue, 2 months before the bar fire. John Lee Price allegedly told FBI agents that Lynn Price, for years, orchestrated the theft and illegal sales of cars, heavy equipment, and trailers. He also testified that the Nova belonged to a police officer, and when Lynn Price learned who the owner was, he ordered for the car to be destroyed. Now during his
sound like dude was getting it in the streets though. That's crazy. He done for it. Dude spilling all the beans. Dude is spilling all the beans. That's why you gotta pay your people properly. He wouldn't have told them, dude, if he was really taking care of that loot. $1,400, $400, whatever. And then he let him look too much into his business. Dude, crazy.
hearing, testimony from authorities also found weapons at Lynn Price's apartment, including guns registered to other people and a flamethrower. Lynn Price was a convicted felon from felony tax fraud charges in 2016 and is not permitted to own a gun. Prosecutor said he's not been charged with any weapon offenses. The prosecutors quoted that the number of accusations against him should support a decision to keep him in custody. Quoting, he's the orchestrator. He's the one who tries to keep his hands clean.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Serrano.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody. During a more than 2-hour hearing, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar, 5015, blown up nearly 5 years ago. This is surveillance video from that early morning in June of 2020 when masked men poured gasoline all over the patio before that fire that then caused an explosion and destroyed the building. An indictment unsealed last week alleges that Lynn Price orchestrated this plan. The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team. And then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up. So in the past, Lynn Price went to federal prison on tax fraud related charges. Once he got out on supervised release, prosecutors allege that he's been involved in other criminal activity, including paying a co-defendant in this arson case to steal vehicles and heavy machinery. The FBI agent testified under oath that same co-defendant admitted to bringing truckloads of hydro marijuana from California that would be stored at the Turkey Leg Hut and then got sold at the restaurant.
That's how they was bringing them in. You definitely could throw 100 P's in the back of that. I want to look at the carnage of the explosion. Oh yeah, they got paid out real good.
Disasters.
Mr. Lindell Price deserves a bond for various reasons. One being that he's not a danger to the community. You heard multiple testimony as it relates to his community involvement, the things that he does for the community. But more importantly, the co-defendants that are on his indictment have all been given a bond. So we're asking for equity and asking for a bond similar to the other people on his indictment.
The federal judge ended this hearing by saying there's a lot to think about and she's going to chew on it. We don't yet know when she'll make a decision about keeping Lynn Price in custody.
And Bryce, we understand Lynn Price is accused of another arson in this current indictment. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, Andy, in April of 2020, prosecutors say he paid a co-defendant to steal a 1975 Chevy Nova because Lynn Price wanted the engine out of it. But once they took that truck to the mechanic, they found out it had been stolen from a police officer who owned it. It was then found burned near railroad tracks and a retention pond. Now around.
They still could have took that engine though.
Both of these alleged arsons, prosecutors say call records show the two men were in touch.
And Bryce, we know you sat in court throughout the morning. What was Price's demeanor like in court today, and what do we know about what happens next?
Lisa, Lynn Price was still handcuffed and shackled. He was wearing an olive green jumpsuit. He had many people there to support him and seemed hopeful at the beginning of this hearing. He was nodding at them as they came in, but then as the hearing went on, he seemed to keep his head down. And then at times when some of these new allegations came out and were discussed, he would appear to react.
Well, I guess 50 Cent had some new content, because best believe they're going to make a new TV series out of this. It's a little different, but I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. Fam, this was the story of a restaurant business owner who got a divorce, indicted, and lost his business in less than 12 months. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and till then, catch you guys on the next one.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. All them turkey legs looked good up in there. I was there just eyeballing them like, dang, they had that. They had that. Oh, they had that. Anyway, though, I want to say this before we get up out of here. All my Houston people that down in the comment section, let me know where to eat at in Houston. Let me know the spots though. Straight trench worthy. Straight trench worthy. We pulling up. Don't care. You know what I mean? But other than that, that's your boy Storm gone, man.